Thank, thank you all very much, Alyssa, for that very kind introduction, which was much overblown. I first would start to say to all of you this morning, I have to echo Tom's comments and thank again all the veterans that are here today, and appreciate certainly all you've done for this country and setting the standard and raising the bar and allowing us to do just about anything we want to do. And you can't do that anywhere else except in this great land. And so to all of you, I say thank you again for your service. I also, I gotta say, here we are on the 13th of September. We've made it through September 11th, and for some, the fanfare has ended, but for many, it's constantly going. And we got to take a second and remember, folks, that right now we've got great young men and women that are in harm's way. Somewhere in a distant, nasty, ugly place, we've got our great sons and daughters that are out chasing down some evil people who have done horrible things to us and mean us future harm. So as you're going about your day and enjoying this great convention and anything you're going to do in our nation's capital, do remember we've got these sons and daughters of yours and ours that are out taking care of us. So with that, I just want to bore you for a couple of minutes before you get into the exciting things about this conference and share some thoughts and my experience. As Alyssa said, I spent 20 years on active duty in the United States Army. The Army was a great experience for me. I can't complain one bit. I hope that I left it in a little better shape than I found it, but regardless, it served me well. In fact, it allowed me the opportunity to travel all over the world, both in training and in combat. As Alyssa said, if you've read the book Black Hawk Down or seen the movie, you know about this battle that happened in Mogadishu, Somalia, almost 20 years ago. I was blessed to be a member of that task force. I spent 3 or 4 months in Somalia with Task Force Ranger, came back, continued on with my service for another almost 17 years. Wound up deploying to Yusufia, Iraq, which is southwest of Baghdad, in 2006. Spent 15 months there, and called it a day in 2008 and started my life in this brand new world. So I kind of can gloss through all the exciting war stories, which I'll be happy to share with you a little later on today, but I have to selfishly talk a little bit about this journey that got me standing in front of you. Because you see, around 1994 or 1995, I had to start going through my annual hearing exams while I was on active duty and wound up failing them pretty much all the time and getting worse and worse as the years progressed. And it got to the point when the audiologist would say to me, "Hey, so Sergeant Eversmann, when did you start noticing hearing loss?" And I said, "Well, ma'am, I can tell you October 3rd, 1993 at about 3:30 in the afternoon. I think it's the first gunshot that went off in Somalia." And, I just, like every other veteran out here, just deal with it. You realize that, you do really dangerous things in a really loud environment, and there's stuff that goes bang and things that blow up and aircrafts that make noise and guns that do loud noises when you're shooting. Like, all these things happen in this business that we're in, and so we just deal with it. I mean, that's what we do. And so failing your hearing test is no big deal. We just deal with it and, go on and do training and other things that are dangerous. We just do it. Well, fast forward to 2006, getting ready to take my company to Iraq in support of Iraqi freedom, go through the medical process and find on my physical at the end of this day a big red stamp that says non-deployable. Believe it or not, non-deployable. Why am I non-deployable? Your hearing loss. You failed. You're a miserably bad boy, First Sergeant Eversmann. Your hearing's done. Holy smokes, this is really a big deal. So I have to jump through all the hoops and the monkey shines and tomfoolery to get through a commander's board in order to be allowed to go to Iraq. Subsequently, in this time period, I've gotten hearing aids fitted and everything's good. In fact, I would tell you it's a life-changing event, as you all know. I'm excited that I'm going to go to the show with the boys of the 10th Mountain Division. And of course, when I get there in this nasty, desolate, horrible part of Iraq, I realize my hearing aids are worthless. They break in about like 2 seconds with all the dust and debris and everything. No bother. Make it through 15 months of mortar strikes, small arms fire, IED blast, and bombs that go off. Happy to get home with 10 fingers, 10 toes, pretty healthy heart, probably still a thick skull. But I'm a healthy 47-year-old. But now I'm a healthy 47-year-old retiree. And now this journey begins to take this ugly, circuitous path to land me down in Baltimore, Maryland at the steps of the Veterans Administration in hopes of getting new hearing aids. Now, I will pause here, and I'm going to speed up to get you through this morning. I have no qualms, no issues, no axe to grind with the Veterans Administration. God love them for all they're doing for us, and the service and benefits that they do are wonderful. I mean, it's profound that they've got this organization to take care of us. But do the math. They can't support all of us. I mean, the numbers are staggering of backload and pending cases and on and on and on. It took 4 years for me to get hearing aids. 4 years. And I'll admit, part of that is, knucklehead Eversmann, not understanding how to weasel his way through the bureaucracy. But there's a fair amount of that political friction that goes on, case overload, inefficiency in management, and well, you all know far more than I do. But 4 years, and this is for a guy, again, with 10 fingers and 10 toes and, a hard noggin. I mean, think about all the other afflictions that veterans have that are trying to get through this system, and somewhere way down the line is hearing. And you all know hearing's a huge deal. Unless you haven't lost any, you don't really think about it. So from that perspective, I tell you folks, this Fit to Serve program is phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. 4 years in the business world, and I don't know much other than to say we've got an immediate solution that's compact, laser-like in focus, and offers an immediate solution to thousands of clients. Thousands. Maybe even hundreds of thousands.